WCW White again with Hulk Hogan and everything like that. I'm going to go ahead and just try a match as Buff Bagwell, and we'll see how we do. I need to change his outfit when I go for the career, but it'll be fine. Alright, here, exhibition. We'll just do a singles match. Okay, another thing I forgot to point out is when you do stuff like this, you get to pick the event that you're at. Nitro, you'll have the Nitro backdrop. You'll have the Sold Out, Super Brawl, Bash at the Beach, Halloween Havoc, and Starrcade. It's just for background looks. It doesn't really do anything. We'll just go ahead and do it at Nitro. And then we'll get to choose 1 versus computer, 1 versus 2, or we could watch computer versus computer, which I did have tournaments when I was little, switching this up to hard at my friend's house, and we had a chalkboard, and we would write the names down of the wrestlers, and we would sit there and we would watch computer versus computer. Or when matches were going to happen coming up in WCW, we would kind of play them beforehand on here to see who would win. Kind of like the Madden tournament, I guess. Alright, Buff Bagwell, and then we'll pick our computer player. Let's go ahead and fight someone who I could at least pick up as Buff Bagwell. Let's see who we'll do. Who don't I like? Let's go fight against... Gosh, not Goldberg. Will probably beat my ass. Let's go against Chris Benoit. Now, you'll be able to set your health here. This is basically like a handicap. You could take it all the way up. You could take yourself all the way down for your spirit. We're just going to leave it where it's at. God, I hope I win. Chris Benoit, I'd be able to change his as well. I'm going to leave his the same. Then you've got the decisions to make. Obviously, you can see some of the writing is bad. Well, there's a time limit, which I don't want because it will probably make me lose. No limit. Ring out. Let's leave. Okay, we'll do the 20-second. Win by pin, submission, TKO. Are there rope breaks? Yes or no? No DQ. Usually that's on because if I get pissed, I want to go into the stands and you'll see and take a weapon out and use it. It's very good for its time. Fan and stand interaction is kind of decent. Here's the intros. I'll come out with Buff Bagwell, generic non-moving face, which is kind of funny. Basically the body's there, and what they did is they took a picture of the face, turned it into a game, and pasted it on the body. Wrestlers will come out, they'll do their taunts, which they can do. You'll find out that we have normal little taunting and like super taunts from the top rope, all to build our power meter. When our power meter is full, it'll enable us to do our finishing maneuver. Also, the lower your power meter is, the weaker your character is. It's sort of like fatigue, if you will. Alright, come on in, Benoit. I mean, you got a score to settle. Alright, so here we go for the actual match. Yep, A is grapple, as you see there. And then the grapples actually change. If I grapple and press right or left or up or down, it should change what my guy does, which we'll attempt to find out if it actually works here in a second. Of course, I could be completely wrong. Here's our punches. If you hold down your punch, you'll get a different power move depending on who you play as. Buff Bagwells, as you see, does a jump kick. Some people do the jump kick, some people do the power punch and stuff like that. You can spam it for a weaker type attack, punching, kicking, slapping, depending on what you press. There he just did a reversal, which I would get into. The L and R buttons will put up a kind of a block. As you see, my guy has entered this stance. He can only be affected by grapples at this time. If someone went to punch him, which Chris Benoit was not doing, of course, it would not punch. That's the R button. The L button, as you just saw, was pin, as I went to pin the guy. Now, try to figure out which C button. One of the C buttons will have your guy run. I believe it's C down. Yep. And I think C up enters the ring. There's different moves you can do when your guy runs. You can run towards the ropes or just straight at your opponent. You don't have to go off the ropes. And when you hold down the attack, as you see here, he did a jumping shoulder dive. Let me try to knock him down. This is kind of a tutorial match. If you run towards the corner, your man will climb the corner, and at which point you can let go and do a move. I did the double axe handle, but I was too far. When your guy's on the ground, you can pull him away from the ring ropes. You can do moves. Buff Bagwell's patented headbutt to the crotch. You can also stomp the crap out of them. Like that. As you see, Chris Benoit's injured, so he's holding his head. That's his I'm hurt face. C up will climb you out of the ring. What you can do is climb out of the ring, climb down, and go into the stands. And I found a metal briefcase or something that's huge. And you can beat the crap out of him. In the champion mode, if DQ is turned on, you will get DQ'd for doing this, obviously. Basically, I'm going to attempt to bait him in the ring, run at him, and knock his head right off. Now we'll see if that's enough for the pin. Nope. 2 count, and you saw the ref at the side. That is the consistency of the ref. He's not in the ring. He doesn't do any. He'll come out and, like, if you're doing a submission, he'll act like he's asking you to tap out, or he'll show himself like that when he counts. Now sometimes characters will get up and they will be in a daze, which is nice. Also, if you climb the ring when he's on the ground, you'll do a move like that. Now, okay, Riggs is coming in to interfere. This is common. If there's common times where you will get someone to come interfere. Usually, if you knock them down or throw them out of the ring, that's all they'll do. You can switch to their targets with C right. It'll allow you to tab over. Basically, it's like a tab target feature. You'll tab over and select them. Also, as you see, I'm targeting Chris Benoit, but I hit Riggs. That will happen as well. You can get multiple interference per matches, so just because one came out doesn't mean that's it. As well as I could get someone to help me if I have a manager or something come out with me and they're outside the ring like Riggs is now. If I get thrown out of the ring, he will be able to attack me, basically. Same thing with managers. You can get outside there and have it. Now, I just pressed the analog stick, allowing my special meter, allowing me to taunt and my special meter to fill up. At which point you want to grapple the opponent and move the analog stick. I just did a Tornado DDT, which is one of Buff Bagwell's 2 finishers. And I get the 3 count. Normally that's a good way to do it. I'll play on a harder difficulty, but when I do the campaign, but I'm shocked that I actually won with such ease. Even though it's on easy, it'll do a replay of the move before the pin, which is of course the Tornado DDT. That's just Also, if I was to get a weapon, let's say a barbed wire bat, or it doesn't even have a chair or anything, and after repeated face hits, this is the most common way. The character will bleed. It won't be gushing blood. They will have a version of their face with blood on it, stationary, and that's what it'll be. Alright, so this is it. I'm gonna do some customizing of my character, Buff Bagwell. I'm gonna change some options. I'll show you guys, and then we're gonna go in and we're gonna go for the championship. Let's hope I win. I'll see you guys later. One thing I forgot to point out, guys, I just want to show you real quick. There is a score screen at the back of every one. Almost as if this was like an arcade game. It would show you your settings and you would rank. Since it's the computer, it's on the right, but it would say player 2 if it was them. Shows you your points, basically, that they've assigned you for striking and stuff like that. Grappling. Obviously, I favored grappling a little bit more. Chris Benoit favored nothing, it looks like, so good for him. And it shows your points. You can then enter your initials if you want. You don't have to. Just random and hit end. Then it brings up the score. So THQ versus Sting, he got 13,000. That's pretty high. You get different points for different things, such as doing damage. but also time is a factor as well. So you could drag out your match and have it be 2 hours long and score up as many points as you want. Alright, I'll see